John 10 verse 3. He knows the names of all of his own sheep. Do you sometimes feel like you're just another face in the crowd or a number in the system? Your social security number is a way for people to find out who you are. You still have to wait until your number is called, even if you get to see the doctor. People who believe in spiritual things often say that the devil tries to trick and control people by planting thoughts of doubt and worthlessness in their heads. One thing the devil does is try to convince people that they are not important to others, especially to a higher power like God. This evil plan is meant to make people feel dehumanized and disconnected from their true selves. This will make them feel like they have no inherent value. But it's important to realize that this is just a clever trick set up by the devil himself. In reality, each person has a lot of value and meaning, not just to the people around them but also to a divine presence that is beyond our understanding. The devil's goal is to make you feel alone and unimportant, so that you question your own worthiness and don't turn to a higher power for comfort or guidance. But I can tell you that this is not true at all. You are an amazing person with unique skills, experiences, and feelings that make a huge difference in the lives of those who get to know you. By realizing how important you are in this world, you can get rid of any feelings of depersonalization or dehumanization that come from being used in this way. Don't let yourself be swayed by these false ideas. Stay true to who you are and know that you are important, not just in the eyes of others but also in the big picture, which was put together by a divine presence we can't fully understand. God cares very much about you. He says your name in particular. He knows everything about what you're going through and where your pain comes from. His eyes look at you with a depth of love and compassion that reminds you of how he looked at people and hugged them when he was on earth. He not only sees you, but also cares deeply about you, just like he did for all the people who crossed his path in the past. His true care goes beyond time and space and any other obstacles that might be in the way. You are not alone. Your well-being is in his hands, who loves you with an unwavering love. He will do the same thing for you that he did for the woman in Samaria. In Matthew it says that for Jesus to get from Judea to Galilee, he had to go through Samaria. The Jews of his time hated the Samaritans and would have gone out of their way to avoid going through Samaria, even if it meant taking a longer and different route, even though going through Samaria would have been much faster. But Jesus chose the less traveled and shorter route on purpose so that he could take a diversion through Samaria and talk to the woman who had been looking for something to fill her life. This woman had already been married 5 times, and the man she was living with now was not her husband. It was clear that she had been having a hard time recently. She must have felt bad about her failed marriages and the way she was living at the time, so it's likely that she was looking for answers and fulfillment. But even with all of this, Jesus knew she was very important. For him to be able to help her, he had to go see her. She met Jesus, the perfect man, and it changed her life. She was no longer embarrassed by what had happened, so she went into the city to tell people about him. Jesus wants to show you his grace no matter where you are in life. He wants to do this for you because he loves you. In his eyes, there is no doubt that you are important. He came to give you life, and he came to give you a full life. John 10 verse 10. You're not just a face or a number among the many people here. He, the all-knowing and kind-hearted being, doesn't just know you by any other name. He knows you deeply and in ways that are hard to understand. His love for you is not shallow or generic. It is deeply personal and made for you as an individual. This divine love includes everything about you, including your strengths, weaknesses, and everything else. It is a steady love that looks past your flaws and embraces you with all of their heart. And no matter what kind of mess you're in, He wants to meet all your needs and make your life beautiful. A thought to think about today. God declares you are important. He knows what you're going through and wants to give you everything you need. Here is the Bible verse to meditate on today. And because the gatekeeper knows who he is, he opens the gate to let him in. And the sheep recognize the voice of the true shepherd, for he calls his own by name and leads them out, for they belong to him. John 10 verse 3, the Passion Translation.